Good evening, everyone. Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with a very special and very important bonus live video update tonight. So it has been a huge start to the year. So many things happening on so many different fronts. I feel like I've only really been able to just quickly touch on the various topics that I go through on each week's video because there've just been so many different topics already this year that we've needed to discuss. So I wanted to do the special, bonus video tonight to really expand on some of the key points that I've been able to just briefly touch on over the past few months. So first and foremost, obviously the biggest topic of the year has obviously been what President Donald Trump and what Elon Musk have been doing over in the US. Now, I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again right here tonight. I do not believe that Trump is going to save us all. Okay, that's not what's happening here. I don't even really believe that everything he's doing is ultimately for the greater good. If you have a look at the digital control grid that is coming along quite rapidly now in the US, that consists of digital IDs, huge new data centers, the crypto push that they're doing. I mean, all of this stuff is actually really quite worrying. Now, look, I certainly do believe that Trump loves his country, but what I think that he really cares about is being remembered for making America great again, whatever that means, in his mind. Now, we all know he has a huge ego. And again, that in and of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. My concern, though, is that I know that there are a lot of people out there that follow the Q movement and other similar ideas. And I would really just caution people against believing that Trump is anyone's savior other than himself. Now, at the end of the day, what people need to keep in mind is that Trump loves to be the deal maker. I mean, just look at what he tried and, of course, unfortunately failed to do just this weekend with the peace deal. Okay, let's not forget, okay, he wrote an entire book called The Art of the Deal, okay, and that really sums Trump up quite well, in my personal opinion. Now, when it comes to Elon Musk, there are certainly some similarities. He too loves putting, deals together. He loves creating things and selling them off for, huge profits and, then coming up with the next great idea. I mean, he started off with PayPal, then he created Tesla, then he moved on to SpaceX. So whether you like those things or not, whether you agree with them or not, he has been extremely innovative and he has created some amazing new things with those companies. I mean, PayPal still to this day is one of the top online payment platforms. Tesla has, of course, been instrumental in popularizing electric vehicles, bringing in charging infrastructure, things like that. Then, of course, there's Starlink, which is owned by SpaceX, which has been helping people all over the world who wouldn't have otherwise been able to do so to connect, through the internet. But look, as far as I'm concerned, again, this is all just my personal opinion, of course, his fascination with colonizing Mars and his whole, Neuralink idea, I mean, these definitely show that he has his own goals that he's working towards. And whilst, of course, some people out there may indeed benefit from his work, that's definitely not his primary focus. But here's the thing. Okay, together, Trump and Musk are doing some amazing work, especially with their Doge program, exposing the incredible amount of government waste. They're doing great work bringing, common sense back into play once again, actually hiring people based on their actual skills, talents and abilities rather than just, whatever minority group they tend to identify with that day. Now, all of this stuff is absolutely very, very positive. So where I believe that Trump and Musk can have the most positive impact is actually exposing the lies and waking people up to what's really been going on behind the scenes that far too many people out there are still completely oblivious to. Now, I don't believe, again, that either of them are going to, save the world or anything like that. But here's the thing. If they can wake enough people up, if they can get enough people thinking and focused on necessary change, then it's we, the people, us collectively, okay, that have the power to save ourselves, if you want to think in those terms. And of course, that is and always has been the key. Okay, no one's going to save us. We need to save ourselves. But if someone else can be that impetus to get us to do that, then that can be a very positive thing. Now, I think that there are going to be some people out there that are going to be very, very shocked when the full truth comes out. Things like the Epstein files, when they are finally revealed, hopefully at some point, because what was revealed the other day really wasn't that exciting. But things that reveal the depth and level of the child trafficking that people just either don't know about or don't want to know about. And of course, that horrendous amount of government waste that goes on day in, day out are going to be real eye-openers for some people. Now, I have no doubt that the many people who are going to lose their jobs or have indeed already lost their jobs as a result of some of the current cutbacks that are going on in the US, they are obviously going to be very upset by that. But the fact is, they've actually been living on borrowed time. They could have chosen to wake up and change their careers at any point. They're now just being forced to do so. Now, I actually see this as being very, very similar to what actually happened during COVID. Now, yes, absolutely, some people died, but as we all know, the majority of them had other issues. They had other comorbidities anyway. So again, they were literally living on borrowed time. Yes, a lot of people over COVID lost their jobs and they went through some very, very challenging times because they chose to stand up against the jabs. Now, here's the thing. After speaking to many, many different people from all walks of life, over the past few years, many of them are actually really, really grateful for their forced career changes and actually wish that they'd done it much, much sooner. They see it as the kick up the backside that they needed to make some necessary changes in their lives. But most importantly, again, in my opinion, what came out of COVID was a huge awakening. There really was a mass awakening on a global scale. Now, absolutely, sure, there were some downsides, 100%. There were way too many, muzzled muppets, like these guys wandering around out there with their silly little face nappies on thinking that they were, achieving something. I mean, God only knows what. So yeah, there was absolutely too much of that. There was also, far too many people that bought into the lies, that bought into the propaganda and, chose to allow themselves or allow their family members to be part of this, global medical experiment. Okay, get jabbed with some unknown substance that simply had not been around long enough, okay, to go through the necessary long-term testing protocols. And yes, look, a lot of those people, unfortunately, are suffering now. But again, a hell of a lot of people woke up because of and during COVID. So many, many people saw it for exactly what it was, and they chose not to buy into the mainstream propaganda, okay? And again, COVID was that impetus for people to stand up in so many other areas of their lives as well, and that's where it starts to get really, really powerful. Again, I speak to people all day, every day, and so many people come up to me and said, the same type of thing. Oh, Mike, I'm so glad that I found you during COVID. You gave me the strength to stand my ground against the jabs. And then I started doing more research, and then I started looking into some of the other topics that you spoke about as well. And now I'm challenging fines, I'm writing off credit card debts, I'm fighting back against the cashless agenda, et cetera, doing all of these other things. So, which is really, really positive result that came out of something obviously so negative. So very quickly on that point, if you do want to start your journey of learning about your rights on a number of different topics, please make sure you grab that book, The Essential Step-by-Step Manual for Understanding and Exercising Your Rights. It covers a whole bunch of topics, some that people know about and some that I guarantee you haven't even heard of. The straw man concept, Unidroit, things like that. Very, very powerful book and a really great starting point. So look, yes, some people suffered during COVID whilst others thrived, okay? Those who saw through the rubbish and recognized the truth, okay, okay, and stood in their own true personal power, okay, they are the ones that benefited the most from COVID. Now, similarly, those who look at the truth behind what Trump and Musk are doing, those that use that new information and knowledge to empower themselves to stand up against this government insanity, those ones equally will be the ones who benefit best from what's going on right now. I think this is another really, really good opportunity for another global awakening. But as always, people need to look within for the answers that make sense to them, and don't just blindly believe what Trump or Musk or anyone else is saying, and certainly don't expect them to come out and save you. Okay, so the other point that I wanted to expand on tonight was the constant push that we've seen in the media, especially this year, for some type of new pandemic. Now, I've shown pages and pages of headlines and articles that have been, coming out each and every day, just trying to keep people living in fear with all sorts of threats of some deadly new virus. Now, here are some of the latest articles that have come across my desk in just the past 2 weeks. I didn't hold them up on last week's video, but the week before that. I mean, just have a look at some of this stuff. And there are pages and pages and pages of it. New coronavirus with potential to cause pandemic discovered in China. Oh, look at this one. I mean, and look at the language that they use here just to keep people living in fear. Terrifying symptoms of mystery crying disease that kills you in hours. I mean, and it goes on and on and on. And obviously I'm not going to read any of these articles, but I just want you to be aware of the headlines the media is spouting. Doctors sound alarm over mystery illness in Congo after 50 people die within hours of symptoms. Okay? This one. Experts, so-called experts, who predicted COVID say new virus appearing in US could threaten all of mankind. I mean, this is the stuff that they keep spouting. Here's another one. Okay. Ireland on list of highly contagious virus outbreak alert in 57 countries as cases continue to rise. But wait, there's more. They keep coming. This is just in the last 2 weeks. Okay. Look at this one. Okay. Why scientists say next pandemic will be worse than COVID. It's not a question of if another pandemic will strike, but when. They're telling you here already. Okay. They're telling you that they're planning something. Okay. Here, I think this one's related to the other one, but it's slightly different headline. Urgent warning issued for 57 countries over highly contagious virus. Okay, and then of course the lucky last, good old Australia, we don't miss out either. Okay, we're in the mix too. Highly infectious disease now spreading through Australia. Okay, I mean, what's that? 8, 9 pages of headlines just in the past week or so. Okay, it is absolutely crazy, this message that they're pushing. Okay, so they are clearly pushing for something to happen. Okay, now one of the key people behind the scenes here at the Know Your Rights group, and I'm not going to name any names, they know who they are, okay, was recently speaking to some hospital staff. And we do, of course, try and keep our sources confidential when requested to do so. Now, as I understand it, one of these people was a nurse, and the other one worked in the admin side of things at this hospital, and they both told this person behind the scenes here at Know Your Rights that the hospitals are currently gearing up for another pandemic. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, they are specifically hiring foreign workers that won't question directives, that will just do what they're told when they're told. They are ousting any nurses and hospital staff that question the mainstream narrative. They're pushing them out. They don't want any dissidents there. They're ordering up significant numbers of PCR tests. Okay, and they are definitely preparing for something. So please, if you are watching this and you are a nurse or if you work in a hospital and you can confirm or deny any of this information, please do reach out to us. And again, if you want to remain anonymous as well, that is perfectly fine. You can just send an email, just a blank email to us, info@knowyourrightsgroup.com.au, and let us know if you're aware of similar things happening wherever you work, or maybe you were ousted because you asked too many questions. So as much information we can gather and share with people, the more informed people will be. Now, the reason that I'm telling you this, okay, is first and foremost so that you are aware and that you can do whatever you wished you did before COVID hit, but maybe didn't know enough back then to protect yourself and your family. Now, I'm also telling people this so that you can go back and watch some of our old videos on Facebook where we spoke about things like the adverse reaction numbers, the endless issues with PCR tests, why those silly face nappies simply didn't work. Okay. Go back and look at that information while it's still up and available in case we are unable, okay, to speak about those things again should something new happen, okay? I mean, is it just me, or is there anybody else out there that, thinks it might be just a little bit coincidental that, as I mentioned on the last video, that Facebook now all of a sudden are deleting all old videos after 30 days? Fascinating that they don't seem to want people to go back looking up that information when the next thing happens. I mean, just look at how close they were to passing the misinformation and disinformation bill. I mean, that would have made it all but impossible to speak out about any of this stuff, if that got through. So we certainly dodged a bullet there. But please just stop and think for just one moment about how much money the drug companies made from COVID. Okay, that amount of easy money is just too hard to pass up for these crims. Okay, it's like all the traffic cameras. They're currently a $2 billion a year business, and that just keeps growing each and every year. They install new cameras, they rake in heaps of revenue, and they take that revenue and they go and buy even more cameras, okay, and so on it goes. So please, if you are sick of that system of paying out, left, right and centre, do make sure you grab that Aussie Speeding Fines book, okay, and use that tried, tested and proven 3-step process for challenging all manner of unjust and unlawful fines. They can all be very easily challenged, and we can stop that money rolling in, and then of course we can start to bring in new initiatives that might actually make our roads safer. The problem is they make all of this money, but they don't use it to fix any potholes. Okay, they don't use it to add any extra lanes to freeways and create autobahns or anything like that. No, they buy more cameras, they buy newer cameras, cameras that can now detect unregistered cars, seatbelts not being worn properly, people touching their phones, things like that. Mind you, none of these things do anything to make our roads any safer in the moment that people are actually doing those things. But I tell you what, they sure do make a ton of money for the government though. Okay, now in exactly the same way, okay, these vaccine companies are absolutely hooked on the billions and billions of dollars that they made from COVID, and they're itching to do it again. Okay, the new Moderna mRNA factory opened up here in Victoria in December last year, and they want to now start recouping that investment. Okay. Here is the information if anyone wants to go and confirm it and verify it for themselves. Okay, this is from the Department of Health and Aged Care. World-leading Moderna vaccine facility opens in Victoria. Southern Hemisphere's only mRNA manufacturing facility is opened in Victoria, backed by the Australian and Victorian governments, ensuring world-class mRNA vaccines and medicines can be made in Australia and creating hundreds of jobs. Okay, and there's the media release, 4th of December. They've just opened this thing. How soon do you think they're going to want to start making money from it? Right now. Okay? Can you see how everything's starting to line up now? See how the dots are starting to connect? Okay? It is not far away. It's not far away. Everything is showing that they're planning and gearing up for this. Okay, but the thing is that they knew that there would be more backlash this time. They knew that people weren't just going to roll up their sleeves this time around. So that, of course, is why they tried to bring in that misinformation, and disinformation bill. Now, Thankfully, of course, that failed, and they just figure, well, you know what, we're just going to do it anyway. Okay. Now, Trump came out and stood his ground regarding free speech. So now Facebook is saying, sure, you've got free speech, but it's only free for 30 days, and then we're deleting it. Okay. And they know, of course, that people have, very short attention spans. They forget things very, very quickly. Okay. So I do firmly believe that they are planning something. I can't tell you exactly, what, but I know that they will make it sound really, really scary this time around. It's going to be far more than just a simple, cold or flu, because they know that's not just, that's not going to cut it this time around. Now, I can't tell you when, but as I said last time, if you prepare and then don't need it, that's a lot better than not preparing and then needing it. Okay. So whether that means, keeping a freezer topped up with some, bit of extra meat, whether it means, buying extra toilet paper, because apparently that was a thing last time, keeping some extra, cash handy, whatever you feel is important for you and your family, I would urge you to please start thinking, planning and acting now. Okay. Because as we saw last time, when it hit very, very quickly. Okay. You literally had just a few days to prepare yourselves for the next few years. Okay, so don't wait till it hits. All the signs are there. Start doing the preparation now. Okay, the powers that be are getting very, very frustrated with Trump and what he's doing. Creating a new pandemic could, potentially stop him or at least slow him down considerably. So again, please be prepared. And again, another very important thing to keep in mind, they don't need everyone to buy into the fear. They just need the majority of people to do so. Equally, they don't need everyone to get jabbed with whatever new substance they decide to roll out of this fancy brand new factory. They just need a large enough number to recoup their investment. Okay, a lot of people woke up last time, but there's still a lot of people that are clearly fast asleep. Do you know that the government website is still recommending to this day that people get COVID boosters every 6 to 12 months, and some people are still doing it? Okay, I literally printed this off. You can see the date down the bottom there, today's date, just before I came on air. Okay, and this is straight off again, the Department of Health and Aged Care regarding COVID-19. It says, information about COVID-19 vaccines and recommendations for vaccination from the Australian Immunisation Handbook. Down the bottom, WHO. COVID-19 vaccination is recommended for all people aged 18 and older. It's also recommended for children aged 6 months to less than 18 years with medical conditions that may increase the risk of severe disease or death from COVID-19. Further doses every 6 or 12 months are recommended or can be considered based on an individual's age and presence of risk factors for severe disease. They're still promoting this on their website today, despite all the information that's come out recently. Okay, they're still telling people to go out and get COVID boosters. Okay, I mean, this is just nuts. Okay, but people are buying into it and people are still doing it. Okay, look, at the end of the day, all right, it's up to each individual to choose to take on board the truth, or not. And I can certainly direct you where to look. The first place to go is to our COVID and vaccinations page. Okay, just go to our website, click on the COVID and vaccinations tab. There should be a link going up in the comments as well. Okay, but you still have to, click that link. You have to go, you have to look, you have to find it, you have to read it. Okay, and actually take on board and make a decision for yourselves. Okay, so plenty of information there, but you do need to put in a little bit of effort and get your head around it. But my strongest recommendation is don't leave it too long. Now, just before we finish off tonight, please do be sure to, in addition to, I know a lot of people watch these live on Facebook and come back a few days after and watch them, but do be sure to also follow us, please, on YouTube and BitChute. Again, you should find some links going up in the comments here. Of course, if you're already watching on YouTube, then you know where that is, or if you're watching on BitChute, the same thing. Otherwise, just go to YouTube or go to BitChute, just type in Know Your Rights Group channel, and you'll find that. Now, if you hit the like and subscribe, that will help us to grow the channel, and that will hopefully ensure, okay, that all of our past videos remain up on those platforms for everyone who needs to, access them in the future. And the other thing, please, of course, if you see value in this information, if you see value in these free videos that we do, our free radio shows every second Tuesday, just imagine how much incredibly detailed information we cover at our actual paid live events. So you can find out more about those events and all the other the various live events that we have planned for this year via the link on our seminar page. Again, you should find a link in the description and in the comments, so please do check that out and secure your tickets if that is of interest to you. All right, so as always, I know it's a bonus video, but I do still like to finish off with some memes to get people thinking, and of course these are all linked to what I've been talking about tonight. And again, we've had similar ones to this before, but again, it's it just makes so much sense, and people are still up in arms. It says, so you're not mad at them for lying to us, but you're mad at me for proving that they lied to us. Okay, and I get it all the time, and that's fine. People want to take it out on me, but I'm just trying to share the truth. That's it. That's all it is. Yes, this one made me laugh. I'm sure some of you can relate to this with some people that you've tried to talk sense into, and as it says there, explain it to me like I took the vaccine for a donut. So yes, a bit of a laugh there. Now, again, this is all along the same lines, and this just makes so much sense to me, at least, and hopefully to the majority of you who are watching this video. As it says there, no vax for HIV after 40 years of research. No vax for cancer after more than 100 years of research. No vax for the common cold. And yet a virus mysteriously appears, and within 12 months, a vax is found by 4 pharma companies, all within 1 week, and we're all mandated to take it. Really? You actually genuinely believe that? Probably not much more I can say to help you then. Yes, again, another one. Okay, following on from that. It's very, very telling that the only ones who are actually speaking up for the vaccine injured are actually the unvaccinated. Okay? Those that knew, those that saw, those that took a stand against it are still taking a stand to try and help those that didn't listen and got injured. Okay, what does that tell you? Yes, this is a good reminder because, this is the problem. People think, it was so many years ago, and people forget, memories like goldfish. And this is why I do these videos from time to time to remind people about that COVID era. Your grandmother died alone in the hospital. Your husband was fired over a mandate. Your teenage son has heart problems. You lost your business. You weren't allowed to go to church. Your 2-year-old was forced to wear a mask. But you want to forget the whole thing? No. I will never forget, and I strongly suggest nobody watching this forgets either, because it's almost certainly coming again. And this is the final one that I want to leave you with, okay, because again, I know a lot of you who are watching this can relate to this sentiment, because I know a lot of you have tried to wake others up, and it's been like banging your head against a brick wall, so welcome to my world. But it says, regret taking it. Oh, well, maybe you should have listened to your conspiracy theorist friends instead of him. So anyway, I'll leave that with you to ponder. And as always, I do urge you to please make use of all of the various resources that are available to you to get informed, get fired up, and get proactive. As I said, these videos are completely free to watch, but they're only available on Facebook now for 30 days, and then they will be deleted. You can find them, of course, on our YouTube channel and our BitChute channel as well. Our radio shows, of course, are completely free to listen to every fortnight on a Tuesday night between 8 and 10 p.m. So just a quick reminder, we will be back this coming Tuesday night. Remember, these are 2-hour shows, so we can go into a lot more detail than we can on these shorter videos. And of course, they're completely uncensored, so we can talk about a lot of topics that, again, we can't talk about on these videos. So just go to our radio show page. Again, you should find a link in the comments. Otherwise, just go to our website, look for the radio show tab, click on that. There's a big black listen live button. Just click on that between 8 and 10. From anywhere in the world, you can listen to that show live. Of course, if you miss one of our live shows, you can join up as a podcast member, access all the shows with all the music edited out, our notes for each show, even transcripts for each show, and it's less than $5 a week. So this is absolutely affordable to everybody. Forgo 1 cup of coffee and become a podcast member. You'll be a lot healthier, and you'll learn a lot more as a result. Of course, we do have our coaching calls available. So if you want to book a coaching call, if you say, look, I love this information, but I need some more stuff specific to me, again, just go to our shop page, or you should find a link in the comment section to book a coaching session. I am, of course, working more with my success coaching clients this year. I know a lot of the Know Your Rights members are also clients, success coaching clients as well. So we've been doing some great work already with a few members already this year. So again, you'll find a link going up in the comments if you want to join up as a success coaching client as well, and I can help you reach your goals this year. Of course, if you want to know more about the work we do at the Know Your Rights group, do grab that Know Your Rights book that I mentioned before. Of course, if you're worried about any fines, grab that Aussie Speeding Fines book. And of course, we do know a lot of people are genuinely struggling financially, so please grab that Bank Secrets book. Stop throwing good money after bad at these unsecured loans, your personal loans, your credit cards. They can be written off, discharged, whatever you want to call it, very, very easily with their tried, tested and proven 4-step process. You can get these all individually. There's links in the description. You can get them all together as part of the combo pack. We do, of course, have that tote bag included as a little bonus. Don't forget our Know Your Rights caps. Still some warm weather around, so grab the caps. People see the logo, they come up and have a chat. Great way to meet like-minded people. As I mentioned before, our first live event in Melbourne is only less than 5 weeks away now, so do be sure to get your seats to that if that's of interest. Our brand new webinar series, again, you'll find all of those on the seminar page. If you can't be part of those for whatever reason, please do make sure you grab our home study course. It is a complete recording of one of our 2.5-day live events. There's 17 DVDs you can pause, rewind, fast forward in the comfort of your own home at your own pace. There's custom-made workbooks so you can write notes next to every slide from every single presentation. It is a great resource tool that you'll come back to again and again and again over the years. So that's available in the links as well. So I'm going to leave things there. I will speak to everybody on Tuesday night with our radio show, and of course again next Thursday night for our next live video update. Until then, take care.